Shalom, family. It's good to see everybody here. I'm glad you all could make it. This won't be long, but it's definitely something I wanted to go over with you because the weather is going through some pretty dramatic changes. And the most dramatic is happening over in Europe. Now, as you can see on the 14th, Europe was going through a heat wave, and you can see where it's all dark and red. They were hitting some pretty high temperatures. Now, as of the 21st, which is this coming Sunday, they're going to be getting snow and cold weather. So this is like you wake up one day, you're in a heat wave, and the next day you look out the window, it's cold and it's snowing. Well, that's what's happening to them. And it's a very dramatic change, and it's a quick change. Now, they were saying they were going, we were going from El Nino to La Nina, and it was not supposed to happen until fall, but look like it is switching now, and even here, the West, they're predicting is going to be the hottest from Texas all the way to the western part of the country is going to be the hottest this summer. If you're in the Northeast, they're saying it's going to be a very rainy and wet summer for us in the Northeast. We're going to be getting a lot of rain, a lot of storms. And I was also reading that it's going to be a lot of hurricanes this year, is what they're forecasting. So this is very dramatic for Europe, and this is something that could extend for the long term for them. So heat waves, we know, will not last forever. They are lasting longer these days, but the intense cold is soon developing for Europe. But they're saying this is a dramatic change, one they have not seen in a long time, that is about to occur in Europe. The deepest changes you can see on the map right there that I have on the screen. So they're saying the deepest changes are going to occur in the northwestern part of Europe and will further intensify into the continental Europe area by Tuesday. So Monday and Tuesday will still allow temperatures to be high in some parts of Europe, but in areas that normally would be warm are going to be in the deep freeze. So they're saying right now, a surface low will be established beneath the core of the deep trough above, sitting over northern Germany, the Baltic region, Poland on Tuesday. Thus, the surface cold front will push towards the Alps. It's going to bring heavy rain, including thunderstorm activity moving across Western Europe on Monday. So, this is the part that's I'm trying to get to the part where it talks about them going into the cold, and it's going to be rapid. So the heavy precipitation, possibly even snow close to the lowlands on Tuesday night, rapid temperature drops across southern Austria and Slovenia could lead to heavy snowfall in the pre-dawn mornings, also associated with strong winds. So they are getting the whole thing. You're talking about heavy rain, winds, thunder, lightning, strong winds. All right. So cold spells will bring an increased risk of damaging frost. So, following the cold front, much colder weather will overspread most of the continent by midweek, extending towards the weekend. Compared to recent days, it will be a fundamental change and harsh reality. We have been in way too hot air mass lately. So, yeah, well, you're going from hot to the deep freeze. Tuesday and Wednesday will bring cold mornings in Western Europe with the lowest temperatures near freezing or a few degrees below. The UK could see the coldest morning on Wednesday. France, which was going through a heat wave, Germany, Spain on Thursday. A few degrees below freezing will be possible with winds reckoning temperature drops significant overnight. So they're saying, in the beginning, they thought, okay, this could be short term. They're now saying this cold spell that they're going into could be a little more long term. I mean, this is something happening right after the eclipse. And just from the way they are talking, they didn't see this coming. They did not see going from a heat wave to going into the deep freeze coming. So, can you imagine what it's doing to everything over there? Now, they also go through trees blooming and things coming back to life over there, and now your trees are all ready, for the spring and everything, and now you're going into the deep freeze. I bet it will kill a lot of the trees over there too. So they're talking about snow accumulations Wednesday. Another cold blast will likely follow this one the following week, and potentially even lower temperatures and more frosty mornings. So they're going into the deep freeze Sunday, but they said the following week could be even colder than next week. Wow. So the cold spell could last a week or possibly even longer. So they're saying right now it could be the end of April or even beyond. This cold spell will be over Europe. This leads to another cold blast already, low below temperatures established this week, which means the potential for damaging morning frosts and catastrophic consequences may follow. So they're talking 8 to 10 degrees Celsius colder than the average temperature, an anomaly for mid levels in late April is beyond extreme. If model predictions are verified, most of Europe and the north central Mediterranean will have a significant cold outbreak for the next few days starting Monday. This would allow night and morning temperatures to continue to reach near and below freezing. So they are saying they don't know what's going to happen to blooming trees and vineyards over there because of the weather. Can you imagine that it wipes out the wine vineyards because of this sudden shift in temperatures? But yeah, they said some of the trees have just fully bloomed, the vineyards, they don't know what's going to happen. So it indicates that temperatures would be 12 to 16 degrees Celsius below average for late April. We could see the cold will spread across the continental part of Europe. This deep cold pool will likely continue for more days. They said definitely this week, and if it goes on the following week, it's gonna be even colder. That is unimaginable, but this is a sudden change for them, very sudden. I know last year we were talking about the heat waves that were going on over there, and their heat waves start in the spring, and then it goes on all the way through the summer. But look like it's not gonna happen this year. It's not gonna happen this year. Alright. So that is quite an anomaly. And to be honest with you, I notice a lot of the temperature changes here in the United States. I notice even where I am in the Northeast, the temperatures are fluctuating a lot more than I can remember in 2023. And like I told y'all, I went to look at the temperature in April. This time last year, we were in the 80s. And today has been cloudy all day. And we've been at 53 degrees, and we're going to be in the 40s at night. But last year, it was like the total opposite. And I notice, the month of April has been pretty turbulent. We've had a lot of wind, we've had a lot of rain, we've had, the weather is completely unstable. You could be in the 50s one day, and the next day it's 75 degrees, and and then 2 days later, you're back in the low 60s. It's, like, all over the place, for real. You had to turn your heat on, Brenda Hill. I turned mine off about a week ago, and I just said to everybody, "Put an extra blanket on your bed. We gonna just tough it out. I'm not turning it back on." But I can understand if it's cold to you, then yeah, turn it on. You gotta make yourself comfortable. I don't live with you. You gotta make yourself comfortable. Florida is in the 80s. Okay. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Y'all, this is gonna do a lot. Like I said, the sudden change, you gotta look at what this is gonna impact. They're talking about the vineyards, but it's gonna impact any kind of farming they're doing over in Europe. So if they got crops growing right now and they're about to go in this deep freeze that they're predicting starting Sunday, it can wipe out their crops over there. I mean, it can literally wipe their crops out. What's going on? And they already showing concerns about the trees over there. They've been in a heat wave, and now the trees are gonna go into a sudden deep freeze. Yeah, it's gonna kill probably will kill some of the trees over there. Oh, you had hailstones in Birmingham, UK yesterday, and it was cold. Yeah, yeah. Oh, absolutely. Starvation and your animals, they got to adjust to the temperatures, but I would imagine many of them will be okay. Um, but the sudden change, yeah, especially like young animals, like animals that were just born, they may have a hard time with it. But yeah, y'all, you gotta look at how many things this is gonna impact. This deep freeze. Because I know when I used to stay over in Europe, they have crops everywhere, and, those crops are not gonna survive if they start having snow and minus temperatures in the minus down there and just deep freeze. Yeah, it's gonna wipe out so much over in Europe. Oh, yeah. Trust me, I know the Most High is working, you know? And look who's getting impacted the most, these Western nations, the ones that benefited off of slave labor. Okay. Europe benefited a lot off of slave labor. It did. And you gotta look at what it was like before slavery. It was a cesspool over there in Europe. The way these people talk, you would think Europe was like the best part of the world. Europe has never been the best part of the world, and it's still not the best part of the world even to this very day. And, trust me, these folks that came over here, they came out of squalor. Now, they always wanna make it seem like they didn't, but they did. These folks came out of complete squalor over there in Europe. Europe was literally a world trash can. That's why they couldn't wait to get the hell out of there and come over here. Mhm. Mountains of manure. You're right, Swift. Yes, yeah, yeah, they did. I remember they had to even show them how to wash their own behind. Mhm. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, trust me, this dramatic change is very significant. It really is. And it just goes to show you exactly the places that are under judgment now. Now, I know we talk a lot about America and everything that occurred here, but many of these European nations did a lot of trading and some of them had slaves as well. And it seems like those are the places that are getting hit the worst. Mhm. Mm, mm, mm. Miss Abiel said they don't wash their behinds right today. And don't wash their hands. Yeah, I witnessed that when I was out there still working. Yeah, many of them will come in there, use the bathroom, walk straight out of there, and they don't wash their hands. That's very true. I seen that a lot when I was still working in corporate America. Mhm. Iraq had a tornado a few days ago. Yeah. I mean, look, we had an earthquake. We had an earthquake just before the eclipse. And, these folks tried to claim that after the eclipse, nothing happened. Well, it's not going to happen that day. It may be the days after the eclipse, but I tell you what, a lot happened before that eclipse. And the days after, now you see a lot happening the days after the eclipse. Mhm, Dubai is underwater. Yeah, all the scheming and scamming and everything they do there, it needs to be underwater. Mhm. Yeah, yeah, so you isn't that more like a desert area and they're getting all that rain? Mhm, in Dubai. Yeah, the East Coast, Mike C, is crazy. The weather has been very unstable. It really is. It's almost like it's summer one day and the next day you need your hoodie on. You need to put your hoodie back on. It is very unstable. Yeah, but changing the climate, just that one thing alone can do a lot of things. It can change so many things. And I think that's what the Most High is doing over there in Europe. He's going to change a lot for those folks. They don't know what they're in for. They seriously don't. Yeah, this is definitely judgment. Mhm. Well, Dubai is one of those places they don't want us there. They don't want any people that look melanated coming there. So, you know what? So let their butts stay underwater. I don't know why anybody want a vacation in an Arab nation anyway. I never could understand that. That is the last place I would want to be. Mm-mm. Y'all can the people that go over there, y'all can have Dubai. Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, I no, I'm just like many of you, I do not believe in a coincidence. I don't believe these things that we're looking at are any type of coincidence. This is definitely judgment we're looking at. Mhm. Mhm. Oh yeah, well, we got to see what's going to happen in Israel. I believe a lot more is going to happen, especially after they retaliate, because Iran is already saying if they do anything to them, Iran said they're going to come back at Israel tenfold. So you're talking about a country that is now bringing it to them. Like I said, it's not like bombing Palestinians that have nothing but a rock to throw. No, Iran, that's a whole different ball game. It is a whole different ball game. And right now, the US is still resisting. Oh, we're not getting involved. We're not getting involved. I think if Iran carry out what they say on Israel, they're going to come back at them tenfold if they retaliate. I think the US will get involved. I really do, especially if they see um, Israel taking a heavy pounding. Yeah, I think they will. Hmm. Yeah. But I think, everything over there is gonna intensify. You're gonna have Gentile fighting Gentiles. Absolutely. Mhm. Oh, yeah, in fact, Mike see Joe Biden is proposing a package today for, um, military aid for, I think, Ukraine, Israel. Yeah, I mean, they're talking about that already. He wants to push a package through especially for Israel, to send them aid, more aid. Mhm. Wow. It's about P Dewo. You said, oh yeah, the Euphrates. Yeah, the Euphrates is definitely all dried up. That sucker was practically dried 10 years ago. Yeah, it's all dried up now. Mhm. Yeah, Taiwan. Yeah, I see that all in there. But one thing Russia said, if anything happens to Iran, they were getting involved. Russia is going to get involved if anything happens to Iran, they're going to side with Iran. And China is going to side with whatever side Russia's on, that's the side China's going to be on. But we shall see, y'all. Like I said, look, we're only in April of this year. It's going to be a very interesting year. Very interesting. Mhm. And how you doing, True Royal? Mm. Yeah, well, you know what, Michael? That World War III, that's going to be between the Gentiles. They ain't going to have nothing to do with us. That's not going to have a thing to do with us. That's going to be all about them. That is their war. Only thing we need to do is stay out of it like we have all the way up until now. But when it intensify, y'all just expect them to start whining to us again about why won't we take a side? Why won't we say anything? Why won't you pray? Why don't you do that? They're going to come back with all that stuff again. So just get ready as things go crazy across this world. Just know they're coming to whine to us. They are coming to whine to us, ladies and gentlemen. Just get ready. Got some earplugs, start putting them earplugs in. They might come in good use for real. So y'all, Mike C, thank you. The eclipse changed everything. You know what? I believe it did too. I'm with you on that one. I believe that. Like I said, if you just go back, whatever state you're in, and look at the weather back in 2023 and look at it today, it is very different. It is very, very different. It seems like when we have a clear day, we got hard winds, or we have rain, and then as soon as it rains it's a bunch of hard wind. We've been getting so many windy days. I can't even remember this many windy days when I was a child. We would have them here and there, but it's like all the time now. Zenobia, thank you so much for the super sticker. Thank you. Mhm. Oh no, Joe Biden he don't care about our reparations. He just cares about funding wars. That's all that man cares about. He only cares about funding wars. He don't care about nothing else. Mhm. Well, they said after the eclipse, because if you go back to the video I did on people saying they are sick after the eclipse, some of the women are saying their menstrual cycles have changed after the eclipse. I spoke about that in that video. People have been getting sick. People are saying they don't feel the same since the passing of the eclipse. Mhm. P Duo, thank you so much for the super sticker. Mhm. Well, I tell you what, I have not heard another thing. The one I was watching was New York because, the governor made such a big deal out about their reparations commission, which we know is complete garbage. Reparation task force and commissions are just total garbage. We know it's just a stall tactic, but a road to nowhere. They don't want to do anything. And New York is just going to prove to be the same as all these other reparation task force that are out here. Mhm. All right, y'all. So I'm gonna go ahead and conclude. Now tomorrow I will be doing a live stream, but it's gonna be for channel members and patrons for tomorrow. And not unless something change or and where I can do another one, then we shall see. We'll see what the news is gonna be like. Thank you for the super sticker, Belinda. Thank you. So everyone, please enjoy the rest of your evening. I have some videos coming out for tomorrow. I hope that you will watch those as well as like and comment because that will boost the video on the algorithm. So enjoy your evening, family. Shalom.